as the locals want to see Japan book their place in Brazil 2014. Japan lost surprisingly 2-0 at home to Bulgaria last week, which was hardly the ideal warm-up for this important qualifier, but crucially Nagatomo, the left-back of Inter, returns after injury, and attacking players Honda from CSKA Moscow and Okazaki of Stuttgart have flown in after playing in domestic cup finals over the weekend. Well, there were one or two question marks for Holger Osiek, the Australia head coach. Cahill starts up front with Holman included too. There's experience at the back for Australia with Lucas Neal, 35 years of age, partnering Sasa Ognanovsky, who's 34, and Luke Wiltshire from Dynamo Moscow, 31 years of age at right back, with Matt McKay getting the nod left-hand side. Referee is Bahraini Nawaf Shakrala. Well, there's been plenty of criticism levelled at Holger Osiek during this World Cup qualifying cycle. They are an ageing unit, you have to say, Stuart, the Aussies. Tommy Orr on the left-hand side of midfield, just 21 years of age, will provide some vibrancy. Cruz, 24, on the opposite flank, but they've struggled really to bring new, exciting, younger players through.
He's not flavour of the month in Australia at the moment, Holger Osiek. He's a very rigid... Well, people talked about it being a 4-4-2 beforehand, but it looks as though he's actually gone with three in midfield, and Cahill will play up front by himself. Means Holman will play slightly behind, but the one thing they have got in their favour, they are good in the air. They will be good from set plays. Bresciano will try and get the ball into the box, and Japan have one weakness: they don't defend set plays particularly well, so that could be a key part of the game here.
Set pieces upset them last week against Bulgaria, and Kawashima, the first choice goalkeeper, had a bit of a stinker as well, let through a free kick for the opening goal there. No one quite expected that, but it will all be forgotten about if they go on and get something here. Remember, don't even have to win, Japan, just avoid defeat, and they will be there in Brazil in 2014. We got a glimpse of the World Cup Stadium, the new World Cup Stadium in Rio, the redeveloped Maracanã on Sunday. We could have the first qualified sides, as well as the host Brazil, of course, being sure of their place. Really not seeming like very far away now at all, the next World Cup finals.
A good start from Australia. Right from the kick-off, the ball goes back to Neil. Long ball played forward, which Cahill won. And then from the left-hand side, Orr started to come in field. First time Japan have got to get on the ball now.
Good movement early on here. The pass was intended for Okazaki from Stuttgart. That's into Cahill. Hasebe got it forwards there for Japan, alongside Endo anchoring that Japanese midfield. That's Honda, the shock of blonde hair. Endo, 129th cap for Yasuhito Endo tonight. The challenge there from Wiltshire.
He's going to be occupied a lot, Wiltshire, by the runs of Nagatomo down that left-hand side. Kagawa coming infield.
Useful ball played in towards Okazaki. Couldn't quite bring it under control, and Australia with room to manoeuvre. That's sent long towards Cahill. Shida under it.
Thought he was fouled there. Number 15, Kono. The centre halves alongside Yoshida.
That's the Socceroo skipper Lucas Neal. Plays with Sydney FC back in his homeland. Played for so long in England, of course. Blackburn and West Ham, 15 years he spent in the English top flight.
player. Survey alongside Endo. Good pass through the ball, but he will just be the more defensive player because Endo, not a great athlete these days. Maeda, the main striker, will try and run in between the two centre halves.
Throw came there from Uchida of Schalke, who sneaked into the Champions League qualifiers for next season. Right-sided player, Nagatomo of Inter, on the opposite flank for Japan here. Just returning from injury, Yuto Nagatomo. Indeed, just in time for the end of the Serie A season. He'd not played since February prior to that. Ball through from Honda.
There's that little reverse pass. They are clever around the box.
Kagawa, the real hit at Manchester United, Shinji Kagawa, after building his reputation those 2 title-winning seasons in Germany with Borussia Dortmund. Endo. Put forward by Nagatomo, but that was charged down.
Good to see Australia trying to press the ball quite high up the field. Only one up front, Cahill being that player. The other midfield players are going to have to join him. The wide players are going to have to join him, but Holman's got a big job in that midfield position. Didn't play particularly well for Aston Villa this season.
No, seemed to fall out of favour almost at Villa Park in the second half of the campaign just gone. Bagged just a single goal in the Premier League for Villa in 2012-13. He wins his 60th cap for the Socceroos here. That's Keisuke Honda, just couldn't prod it into Okazaki. Very busy player, Keisuke Honda. And then the pass and the tumble by Okazaki has yielded a free kick, which the Australians aren't happy about.
Malinovsky, centre half. They are trying to get their tackles in quickly. They're getting very tight to the front player, Maeda, and the midfield players that make the forward runs. Okazaki being one of them. He will start on the right, but he makes little diagonal runs to go and join Maeda.
Endo is there, so too Keisuke Honda. Just won the double in Russia with CSKA Moscow. Only Saturday that he was playing in the cup final, which CSKA won on penalty kicks. And it's going to be Endo, veteran in Japan's midfield. Movement in the wall. It's Yasuhito Endo, not far away. I think Schwarzer had it covered.
Yeah, good effort from the midfield player Endo. And a lot of whip on this, just over the top of the wall. He gets it back down pretty quickly. Schwarzer had it covered. Good technical player Endo, wrapping his foot round it.
Japan's most capped player trying to beat Australia's most capped player there. Yasuhito Endo, appearance number 129 for the Blue Samurai here. Schwarzer, 106th time he played for Australia. All up towards Maeda.
Yeah, Okazaki's playing a little bit closer to him than... Almost playing in an inside right position, but as Australia get the ball, he will drift out to this right-hand side to stop Mackay getting forward.
That was Mackay. And the pass just rolled into Mark Bresciano. Here's Tommy Orr. Oh, well, just ran out of room there, tried to do too much.
That's poor play, wasn't it, from Orr? No guile, no trickery, just ran the ball out of play up against Uchida. He's a much better attacking fullback than he is defensive. Ball's a long way out before he tries to get the cross in.
'57th cap tonight for Tsuto Uchida. Just have to look at the spread of Japanese players around, well, European football in particular, to get an idea of the experience and the quality of personnel they have. It's going to be a 5th successive appearance in a World Cup when they finally do make sure of their place in Brazil for Japan. Twice have survived the group stage on home soil in 2002 and in South Africa last time out. Twice in the group in South Africa, in Cameroon and Denmark. Beaten by the eventual runners-up, the Netherlands. It is Honda. Maeda, who did well to keep it going. It's Nagatomo, well forward, left-hand side. There with Robbie Cruz.
Yeah, been disappointed with Nagatomo this season at Inter. Up against Robbie Cruz.
Cruz of Leverkusen. At least that's where they'll be playing next season.
The one I've seen play in the Bundesliga usually plays up front, Robbie Cruz, rather than out in a wide area. Certainly a hard-working player.
That was forward by Lucas Neal. And then Honda would drop in there for Maeda. Alberto Zaccaroni, his crowning glory club-wise came back in 1999 when he guided Milan to the Scudetto. Back in the good old days, no doubt the Rossoneri will say. Andrei Shevchenko, recently a Milan player then. And he's got them well drilled. Endo. There's Honda. Uchida. Good run through the middle by Maeda. He's unable to keep that in.
Yeah, it was a right idea and a good run from Kagawa, trying to make that diagonal run, which he does so often. The pass wasn't quite good enough.
Just over 10 minutes in Saitama. No score again yet in the penultimate round of World Cup qualifying in Asia. It'll be the last round if they have it their way. Japan and Australia don't want the lottery of the playoffs. If you finish third in these sections, then 2 playoff ties await. 4 matches in total. That's precisely why Australia moved to this confederation, because they were sick of ending up in the South American Oceania playoff, which they invariably lost. A point behind Jordan at the start of play here, the Socceroos. Endo. Oh, good football that from Japan. Where's the clearance going to end up? It's arrowed through towards Okazaki. Once again, the long ball will come forward for Cahill, and there's Holman.
There's the contrast in styles. Japan trying to play through midfield and then quickening the tempo up when they get one of their midfield players turned on the ball. Australia very quickly get it forward. Cahill batting for the aerial duel. Holman backing him up. Doesn't quite catch hold of the shot. It's going to be an intriguing game here.
Kagawa. Honda. Slick passing around the edge of the Australian penalty box here. There's a cheetah with room to send it in. Cleared by Lucas Neal.
That's what a cheetah does well. Time these runs to perfection. It's clever play from Japan. Passing the ball to mark players. Always away from the defender. As soon as they get turned, they have runners going in front of them. They look dangerous in the top third of the field at the moment, Japan.
Corner from Honda. Oh, there's an unmarked player near post. It was Yoshida.
Lucas Neal was blocked there. He fell over. It wasn't good marking from Lucas Neal, but Australia got a chance of a counter.
Done really well there. It's Tommy Orr. Can they get supporting players in position? The answer was maybe, but it required a good pass to keep it going, and that was not forthcoming from Tommy Orr there.
Watch here. Gets away from it. See Lucas Neal fall on the ground, and he's got to do better there with the header. It's a free header. This times it completely. Lucas Neal on the ground. What an opportunity for Yoshida. That's the trouble with man-to-man marking. You keep hearing coaches and pundits talk about zonal marking, how it's a real problem. You have man-to-man marking, there's a crowded penalty area, the player makes his run, and you get knocked over by one of the other defenders that's in the way. That's exactly what happened to Lucas Neal there.
Didn't hurt Australia though. Still scoreless here. Japan have won all but one of their home matches in World Cup qualifying thus far. Only blemish was a reversal, 1-0 defeat to Uzbekistan when they were already sure of making it through from the first group. Azebek on Holman. '60th cap tonight for Brett Holman. Important touch that by Okazaki, just about got there. Maeda for Honda. Shinji Kagawa back for Keisuke Honda. And it's Endo doing well. Shot was always rising. Yasuhito Endo then making a bit of room for himself and letting fly.
Yeah, great little bit of play. Again, good passing from Japan. Endo picking the right time to come forward to Honda's pass. Threatens to shoot with his right and goes past Bresciano. Always getting underneath it. They're so clever in midfield. Some of their passing's been excellent so far. Lucas Neal didn't come out and charge the ball down once Bresciano was beaten, just stood his ground.
10 goals for the national side, Endo. Most of them have been kind of like that. A late arriving midfield player with an effort from edge of the area. Here's Cruz. This is useful from Australia. It's Holman! Dragged his shot wide. Well, there will be gaps with the likes of Holman arriving late at the other end.
Yeah, that's better play from Australia. Continuity in the top third of the field. There's the first pass. Holman does really well. First touch just takes him away. Just drags his shot wide. But he will arrive late. Cahill with the cutback. Yoshida did quite well to get out there and get the, or try and get a block in. Just made Holman rush his shot.
Josh Kennedy, many thought might get the nod to start up there alongside Cahill, going forward for Australia here. On the bench for the Socceroos. Towards Honda. Or this runs away from Cahill. Honda can't bring that under control.
That's the ball they like to play. Honda just really got a defensive role in the side. He can get in between the front player, Maeda, and his own midfield players. Try and get in behind Bresciano.
Uchida. Nagatomo forward on the left-hand side. Makoto Hasebe. Finally the ball comes into the near post area. Away though by Ognanovsky. It's Honda. Can Okazaki turn? Schwarzer saves. Again it's Keisuke Honda. Didn't quite know what to do with the follow-up, did he? Tommy Orr hooks it forward for Australia. Cahill looks for the flick and might have taken an elbow in the face.
But what play it was again from Japan up the other end. Tight passing in and around the box. Such a good understand. Here's the little clever one. What a good save from Schwarzer. He'd already gone to ground. Schwarzer. It's the right-sided player who's acting as a second centre forward. Okazaki, who has the shot. He had the best chance, but certainly Honda, not athletic. He's got a great left foot and really good vision. He's starting most things off for Japan.
Ognanovsky takes the free kick for Australia. Balls for Bresciano. Brave block from Uchida.
Had to be as well. Well struck from Bresciano. Cahill's not getting it all his own way in the air so far, but he's certainly doing enough to stop Japan clearing the ball with any sort of quality.
It's on by Cruz, away by Kono. Things just livened up a bit over the last few moments.
Here is that block you were talking about. Really throws himself at the ball. Bresciano. Excellent strike. You can see that Cruz looks round. He knew that was on target and hit with power.
Robbie Cruz losing out to his opposite number there, Shinji Kagawa. Away come Japan. Here's Honda. Okazaki's up there with him. Keisuke Honda. He's gone to the opposite flank and the shot was deflected as Kagawa arrived and lifted over.
Well, he had options, didn't he? There's the first ball one against Lucas Neal by Maeda. Thought he was going to pass it out right to Okazaki. Decided to go back to Maeda. Just did enough, Australia.
Corner.
Once again, man-to-man marking in the box. Just see Cahill in the zone, right on the 6-yard box. He's going to attack the ball wherever it goes. So there's a bit of blocking going on. There was the last time.
Yoshida ended up with that free header the last time Japan won a corner. Comes very deep and volleyed up and over by Shinji Okazaki. Tried a different tactic that time. We approach the midway point in the first half at the Saitama 2002 World Cup Stadium. It stays like this, then Japan are in the 2014 World Cup finals. Look at the pace there of Tommy Orr. And they had a backtracker there in Hasebe, who is yellow carded for the challenge.
He was never going to make the challenge. Orr was always going to get there first. His angle of recovery had to be different, Hasebe, to try and hold up the play. Been better off just sliding in there. Tried to stay on his feet and then couldn't get the stretch to get the ball. Now he'll be under pressure for the rest of the game. Only 22 minutes played. And it's going to be an outswinger from Orr. Cahill will be the major threat.
It is an outswinger, and there's a shot from Cahill which is rather sliced somewhat. He certainly got under it.
It was a chance though, whether it was well worked or just a bit fortunate. He comes short, the other players make the run. It falls nicely on the volley. Once he's there, he's got to make better contact. It hits him on the shin. Gets away from his mark, he's not even watching the ball. Number 15, Kono.
Another player who's winding down, really, career-wise, Tim Cahill. He's with the New York Red Bulls these days after 8 years with Everton. There's no doubt about it, the 2014 World Cup finals are going to be the last hurrah for a whole raft of players. Milligan. Look how quickly Japan move it forward, but Honda's out-muscled there, legally. This is Orr. And Honda gets back and pushes Tommy Orr down. He's just had the bit between his teeth there, did Keisuke Honda. But certainly Tommy Orr has pace to burn down this left-hand side for Australia.
Has he got the ability to go with it? That's been the big question in his career so far.
Matt McKay. Wiltshire, the well-travelled Mark Bresciano there. Mainstay of the teams that reached the last two World Cup finals.
Of course, Australia did beat Japan in Germany in 2006. And they were managed by Gus Hiddink, the Australians.
That was something special because that was Australia's first ever victory in a World Cup finals match. Or Uchida just towing it away.
Zico was the manager of Japan.
Header down to Bresciano. Back with Holman and Bresciano. Wiltshire. Had plenty of time, plenty of room also to think about what he was going to do there. Cross hit Nagatomo.
Oh, what a disappointing cross it was in the end. As you said, he had lots of time to deliver the cross. Cahill was working hard at the back post to find a bit of space.
There's the corner. Very nearly. Dropped nicely for Milligan. Good spell this for the Socceroos. That's hooked near post. If they can get a flick down, Lucas Neal was in there.
I think Kono just about does enough here to put Cahill off, because when this ball comes in, it's going to be favourite, and there's another spare player making a run into the box. It's Lucas Neal. He was free. 2v1 against Yoshida. Just doesn't get the contact he wanted. He's head and shoulders above number 15.
Well, it was Tim Cahill who came off the bench in that match you mentioned against Japan to pretty much break the Japanese hearts that day in Kaiserslautern. He scored 3 goals in the last 8 minutes when Japan were leading. He'd finished 3-1 to the Socceroos. Okazaki in by Uchida. Oh, Schwarzer just got his fingertips on it. Cute goalkeeping that. There's Milligan into Holman. pass back towards Holman goes astray. The referee allows play to carry on. That's Endo. Keisuke Honda driving forward again with purpose for Japan. They've a wide player too. It's back for Honda. Australia's scramble clear. There's Orr. Quickly the challenge came back in though from the team in blue.
Well, another good chance. I think there was a really good tackling amongst that. A dangerous tackle from Onenovsky. Flying out to stop Honda getting his left foot on the cutback.
Nagatomo. Neil tracking him. Just trying to play their way through again there, the Japanese. Perhaps over-egging it to a certain extent. Now it's Cruz. Decent game though, isn't it?
It really is a good game. Surprising it's still 0-0 with the amount of half chances we've had. The intensity in which the game's being played at. Made even better by the atmosphere inside this ground. 60,000 plus supporters in. As there has been for every one of the Japanese home qualifying games.
Which is well forward, has Cruz ahead of him, looks for Cahill, might drop here for Orr.
I think a foul had already been given against Tim Cahill. Whistle had gone. And amongst all this noise, was it a foul by Cahill here? Ball comes in, just tries to jump over the top of Yoshida. I don't think he does anything wrong. Yoshida's backing into him, and it's not well defended by Uchida. So what does Cahill do wrong there? Yoshida hardly makes a jump. All he's trying to do is back into the Australian centre forward. And a decent season at Southampton. Yoshida.
Yeah. A season of change at St Mary's, and a controversial change with that managerial switch mid-season. Ended up retaining Premier League status. Yoshida started 31 times. There's Tom Orr. Once again, just a nice deft pass into space, and that's prodded up to Cruz, who darted across.
A great run from Cruz, didn't make the most of it. He realised that Japan were trying to play an offside line. He made the diagonal run, he was in. He needed his first touch to be better, but it was also good play from Nagatomo not to try and stay in a line, and he went back behind his centre halves on that occasion. He was able to deal with the poor touch.
There's Honda. Pass there for Kagawa. Again in for Shinji Kagawa. Orr. McKay. Cahill. Back for Bresciano. Holman. Neil. The Wiltshire, nicely worked. It's Robbie Cruz, Cahill's near post. And it required the intervention. It came from the hard-working Hasebe.
That's where I've seen Cruz make more of his runs in Bundesliga. And he's been playing in the centre forward position. Lovely little diagonal run, well timed. Second one in the last 5 minutes or so. Now set play. Can Australia get ahead on this first ball? Milligan's in there. Lucas Neal, Tim Cahill.
The other big centre-half too, Ognanovski. Where's this going to land? Comes in near post towards Cahill. 3 blue shirts there. Australia have done well there. Clipped back in by Cruz, deflection. And now Endo. Oh, they've wasted the opportunity to clear their lines. It's Lucas Neal. It's Robbie Cruz. It's Luke Wiltshire. And he rather underhit that. Disappointing. Okazaki. Japan will build from deep. Honda. Tumble there as Ognanovski tries to get back, but they could be exposed here, Australia. Honda's through the middle, and Maeda tried the shot. Good block.
The counter's always on for Australia.
Brett Holman. Clever ball through, it's a fine ball, it's Cruz! Out came Kawashima! And the follow-up is rifled over the top. What a splendid through ball.
And what a great run again from Cruz. It's a good save, but did he foul the second time round as they were both trying to get up for the ball? Here's that run. What a pass it is from Holman as well. For some reason, it was Endo out in the left-back position. See, as they're trying to get up here, Endo hasn't got the pace. He's looking for the goalkeeper to come. Good save. Well, I'm not sure what Cruz, and then he's just trying to hold him down on the ground, isn't he, the goalkeeper? But I think the referee's right not to give a penalty.
It's because the moment he sees he hasn't beaten Kawashima with the shot, he wants retrospective action to be taken for the brief contact there was. Just as Cruz ran across the front there of Endo, he seemed to just catch his leg, and it might have unbalanced him slightly. But well, he certainly set himself to get the shot away. Credit Kawashima for blocking.
He's got to be worried. Macaroni, one or two of the runs that Cruz is now making from wide, from outside to in, is causing Japan problems. They're counter-attacking really well, and there's another strong challenge. Australia don't mind putting their foot in. Holman on this occasion.
It was a splendidly weighted through pass as well, wasn't it? For Robbie Cruz from Brett Holman.
Does he catch him here? Tries to win the first ball. Goes with his foot and then his arm. Australia have always been known to mix it. Use the physical side of the game to their advantage.
Endo. Oh, delightful ball over the top. Hacked away though, no nonsense really from Lucas Neal.
Nagatomo with the run, the left back. Outside of the foot pass, here's that. Trying to play over the top, slices it in behind. Lucas Neal just about gets there.
Okazaki. Achida. Suto Achida for Keisuke Honda. Rather than try the tiki-taka stuff, took the ball by the horns there, did Keisuke Honda.
He was looking to play into the front player who was a little bit too tight to him, Maeda. There's any space to play the pass, so he decides to go for the shot himself. Got a great awareness around the box when they're playing that 5-10 yard passes.
Been a terrific season in Russia for Keisuke Honda, and indeed CSKA Moscow, who won the Premier League title for the first time in 7 years, just a few short weeks ago. And then did the double, beating Anji on penalties in the cup final. Terrific run down the left-hand side there by Shinji Kagawa. Had the ball towed away from him right at the last, but they are so direct and attacking.
Yeah, Kagawa saw the opportunity. Two defenders got square with each other there. Milligan and Wiltshire. Just about gets back. Milligan. I've seen a lot of Kagawa.
Likely to see one of the big guns being the intended target for this. Japan corner. Safely down the throat there of Mark Schwarzer. He's pulled off that good one-handed save, Mark Schwarzer, which is why things are still stalemate here.
It's been a good save from both keepers, isn't there? Mark Schwarzer, the one you're talking about, but also Kawashima up the other end when Cruz was through. Just stuck out his left arm.
Okazaki.
He was the player that was denied by Schwarzer. Okazaki's got an important role in the side. See him out wide right, but he has to go and give support to Maeda.
Gone by Uchida, who's flitted over to the left-hand side. Going to be a Japan throw. Okazaki. Nagatomo. Got a bit fortunate there, did Yuto Nagatomo. Kagawa and Maeda. Endo, Honda. A familiar little one-touch linking pass through. Didn't come off that time.
The gamble there. Uchida just about got away with it.
Kono. Nagatomo towards Maeda. No real problems there for Schwarzer.
Too much loft on the diagonal pass. A very capable goalkeeper. Top-class performer for many, many years now. Schwarzer, both when coming for crosses and making saves. They don't give up, these supporters, do they?
You mentioned it earlier, this is the stadium of choice for the crunch matches, the matches that really matter when it comes to qualifying for World Cups and Asian Games and the like for Japan. The Saitama World Cup Stadium hosted Japan's first match in 2002 as a host nation. Here comes Uchida. They had a player prone in the penalty area there though. Referee was across it, saw nothing untoward. That game against Belgium 13 years ago today. 2-2. Remember it like it was yesterday. Football fever or what in this part of the world during those 2002 finals. We remember the pictures of South Korea playing and there being 500,000 people in the public squares in Seoul, watching it on the big screens.
There's the threat. Player in midfield with a bit of time on the ball. Japan trying to hold this high defensive line. It's a gamble. Pass wasn't quite good enough for Holman on that occasion, but he certainly wasn't offside.
Okazaki. Endo skips away from Milligan, and that's Bresciano in. Maeda able to set it though for Yasuhito Endo, and there's Honda. They dealt with it well. McKay's touch. There goes Orr. Holman. Back though for Japan with Uchida and then Honda. Kagawa. There's Nagatomo giving him the option left-hand side too. It's Honda.
I think this has been an excellent first half, despite the score being 0-0. Australia have come with a game plan. Certainly seen the weaknesses in Japan. Balls are played into the box. They've also counter-attacked really well, and they've realised that Japan are going to try and hold a high line and gamble on offside at times. So the wide players and Holman are trying to make runs beyond the retreating Cahill. As for Japan, they've passed it well in midfield. They've tried to be creative in that top third. They have some great movement, which hasn't quite happened for them so far. Great contrasting styles of play.
Endo, Kagawa. Disguised pass backwards for Keisuke Honda. Shinji Okazaki, straight at Schwarzer. Just trying to deliver the end product a little bit earlier that time, Japan. Perhaps guilty of trying to overpass it and overplay it through the middle on occasions before that. The shot came in as early as he could get it away, though, from Okazaki.
Too much of Milligan on the ball, very much a holding midfield player.
Holman harassed out of possession there, but that's Cahill. And then with McKay. So 3 away matches thus far in this group for Australia. A win, defeat and a draw. Crucially, Melbourne and Sydney are the host venues for their last 2 qualifiers. Jordan and Iraq on the 11th and the 18th of this month. 0-0 is the score at the midway point. It's been a rip-roaring 45 minutes in Saitama. If it stays like this, Japan will be assured of their place in Brazil 2014. Start winning sooner or later to the Socceroos if they're to avoid this playoff lottery. Japan 13 points from 6, Jordan 7 from 6 occupy the top 2 positions in qualifying Group B in Asia. Then come the Australians with 6 from 5. So no goals in that first half, Stuart, but no shortage of entertainment.
Certainly not. We saw Japan counter-attack quite well by Australia. Had 1 or 2 chances, Australia, but the clever play from Japan in and around the box was a treat to watch at times, and we're going to see more of it in this second half.
And on the ball straight away, the man who had it plenty in the first half, Keisuke Honda. These two have met 7 times before. Japan, 3 wins. Australia, just a couple, 2 more draws, as well as previous crunch meetings in World Cup qualifiers. There was famously an Asian Cup final meeting between these two, 2011. Tadanari Lee scored the winner there in Doha. Kagawa, twisting and turning, and finally getting a modicum of room in which to shoot.
You didn't see so much of him as we usually do. Kagawa trying to twist and turn here, threatening to shoot with his left. I think the defender just gets a touch on it before he gets his shot away. That's why a goal kick was given. Playing out on the left-hand side. Never really an an outside left. Which plays as an inside forward. Making runs in between Honda and Maeda. Makes little diagonal runs. He'll allow the fullback Nagatomo to get forward ahead of him at times.
What a couple of years he had with Dortmund. Those 2 title-winning seasons, 21 goals and 12 assists. Became kind of like a cult figure, really, at Borussia Dortmund. Mind you, they didn't do badly this year either without him, did they?
Yeah, Klopp has mentioned that he's very sad to see that Kagawa doesn't always get a regular start at Manchester United, and he was bemoaning that he plays out on the left-hand side, because at Dortmund so often he played through the middle as the second centre forward.
Yasu Kono, one of only 3 starters for Japan here to play in Japan. There's Honda. Just drifted away there from Robbie Cruz. Still with it. Keisuke Honda. Nagatomo. Kagawa. Back in field, Kagawa. Honda. One touch with the offload. Just a bit loose though.
Yeah, centre-half read that quite easily. Lucas Neal, I think it was on that occasion.
Kono. Hasebe. Nodded out to Tommy Orr. Now this is where there is potential for a little bit of danger for Japan, but that was a bit sloppy in possession there from Orr. He still has it, and he very nearly ran it straight out of play there. Bresciano. Lucas Neal. Wiltshire digs out the cross, and he's back by Holman in towards Cruz.
He wasn't a live Cruz, because there's no way Cahill could head that for goal. He's just trying to head that back into a dangerous area. Cruz didn't read it at all.
Kagawa skips away there from Wiltshire and tries to slot it into Honda. Lucas Neal read it well. And Wiltshire tied it up there by Kono. Eiji Kawashima. And Endo, who, like Yasu Kono, plays his club football for Gamba Osaka. Honda very nearly slotted it into Nagatomo. Holman. That's well played. Here's Orr. In to take on Uchida. And Atsuto Uchida did well there.
I'm afraid that's not good enough from Orr. Switch of play. Yes, he might have pace, but you've got to have a bit more than just pace. Made it so easy for Uchida just to drift across and get in front of him. We've seen him run the ball out of play once. You just mentioned it a little while ago. He nearly ran the ball straight out of play on the side of the field, then just knocked it in behind Uchida, who got across there far too easily.
Honda. Kagawa. And Nagatomo. Wiltshire was strong.
A draw will be seen as a good result for Australia. So home games to come against what will be seen as inferior or weaker opposition.
Yeah, that's pretty sure the way they're approaching this crucial 2-week period of 3 matches. Sort of emerge unbeaten here, and then look to do the business against Jordan and Iraq. Of course, it is the game with Jordan that's effectively the playoff for 2nd place, Melbourne. That comes next Tuesday. And a week on, Iraq in Sydney. Honda. Bresciano getting back. Comes out for Shinji Kagawa. Leaves one for dead. It's Honda. Going to get the ball into the danger zone sooner rather than later. Nagatomo, unsurprisingly, helping out the attack. And it came back to Hasebe, who was dispossessed. Cruz. Louis Cruz just taking the sting out of that Japan attack there and draws the foul. That will suit Helga Rosiek's Australia.
He's just got caught on the ball here, Hasebe. Holman racing back, doing a good bit of defensive work for his team. He has varied his position, Holman, between playing as a 3rd central midfield player and a 2nd striker. That was a waste.
Just got to be careful that that doesn't happen too often, though. Australia. Tempo's just dropped off a bit in this 2nd period. 7 minutes into it, and it's still scoreless between Japan and Australia. Kono with a pass into Okazaki. The foul against Yoshida. Wiltshire. Neal into Holman. Slightly loose. Endo. There's room here for Japan. Shinji Kagawa taking on Wiltshire. Oh, might have given himself too much to do. Schwartz already flapped at it and prodded wide by Honda.
Great play, Kagawa. Wiltshire gave him the line and he took it. What a cross it was to the far post. Honda just gets his studs in it. Change of pace.
Just there, thought he'd rolled it out. But a great recovery, and what a pass it was. What a cross it was from Kagawa.
He drags Schwarzer to the near post, then tries to chip it over him. Goes with the wrong part of his foot somehow. Honda, maybe he even could dive in with his head there. That's a golden opportunity. They switched the play so quickly out to Kagawa.
Keisuke Honda's last goal was for Japan back on the 6th of February in a 3-0 friendly victory over Latvia. Just a little too awkward though as it dropped there for him to propel himself forward and turn it into the unguarded net. Here he is again, Keisuke Honda. Kagawa takes over! Again, too near Schwarzer. Much like Okazaki's effort at the end of the first half, just jinked himself into a little bit of room, but hit it straight at the keeper.
That's lovely play again, though. Honda racing across the field, just puts his foot on the ball to allow that bit of space from where he's come from. Kagawa to get his shot away.
Endo. Bit loose from Yasuhito Endo. He's allowed Milligan in here. Milligan back for Holman, who looks for Cruz. Sturdy defending there from the Japanese. Well, even if, as I suppose is expected, Australia take up one of the 4 or 5 places in the World Cup next year, as Nagatomo comes forwards, fine challenge.
Well, it's a great pass to start with. Nagatomo getting in behind his man here. Wiltshire does really well to time his challenge. Run away with the ball as well. First touch, now he needs to get his shot away. Which he tries to do, but misses the ball completely, Nagatomo. Just sense that Japan are getting closer and closer here.
Kagawa in for Honda. There's Keisuke Honda. It's Shinji Kagawa! No penalty. Just tried to bring it back onto his right foot. And that undermined the chance, really.
But brilliant play. This play around the boxes, you won't see any better football anywhere around the world. Great link-up play. Now, could he have shot? Maybe he could have done. He tries to drag it inside Lucas Neal, who goes to ground. He actually hits the ball into him. Another centre-half, I think, in the end that comes across. Again, Ofsky.
Well, you remember the second round of the World Cup match in 2006, right at the end. Lucas Neal making a challenge like that on, I think it was Fabio Grosso. Referee said penalty. Totti scored and Gus Hiddink's side were out right at the death. But the decision didn't hurt Australia there. Here's Honda. It might have given the home side just a bit more impetus. This is Endo. It's Kagawa. Shinji Kagawa! Oh, that's unlucky. What a deft attempt. Denied only by the width of the woodwork.
Well, he's coming to the fore now. Kagawa, quite in the first half. This is brilliant play, because he's got the beating of Wiltshire. He doesn't want to get too tight, Wiltshire. So he just steps in on his right foot, and he knows exactly what he's trying to do here. He wasn't crossing the ball, that was going for the far post.
Endo controlling things as ever in the middle of the park for the Japanese. Kono forward. Nagatomo is the runner, but it's back to Schwarzer from Cruz. That's something of a slicer from Schwarzer.
Foul given against Cahill, jumping into the back of Hasebe. And when he lands right on the back of Hasebe. Give him the benefit on the doubt on this occasion, but Cahill has been known just to leave his foot in on 1 or 2 occasions. First saw him as a youngster playing at Millwall. He wasn't shy with his physical challenges.
Holger Osiek was an assistant to Franz Beckenbauer at the 1990 World Cup. The first coaching experience that must have been, as then West Germany carried off the trophy. A great run from Holman. He's done precious little of that in the second half. That's Bresciano. His shot hit Uchida. Brett Holman has it again. Matt McKay. For McKay. In it comes over Cahill. Holman arriving. Not a solid connection on it. Robbie Cruz.
Whistle's already gone. Holman has to dive in here, surely. It's a half-hearted effort from him. He makes a good run. Really good cross into the box. And as he's flying in there, he's got to dive at that ball. If he dives at the ball, he wins it and scores. But a foul was given. Not sure by who.
Yeah, just sort of skims off his head, doesn't it? Endo. Room for Keisuke Honda.
Has to be a foul. Honda, good movement there. Honda drifted out wide as Okazaki made the little diagonal run. Kai just goes into him, blocks his run, doesn't make contact with the ball. Has to be a foul. Obstruction at least.
Well, if you can stop Keisuke Honda, got a pretty good shout at stopping the fluidity of Japan's football. But there is a set piece here as we just push past the hour mark in Saitama, and it is still 0-0. So Japan on course for this qualification spot in Brazil 2014. Honda there, Endo there. We saw Yasuhito Endo bend one just wide of Schwartz's right-hand post in the first half. Going to be Keisuke Honda. His laces through it, but still no breakthrough.
There's that technique that we see so many players use these days, where they hit through the back of the ball and it just dips and swerves. See it coming down now. Doesn't come down quickly enough though.
There goes Cruz. Challenge from Hasebe. Saccharoni, Japan's 6th foreign coach. They went back to basics with Takeshi Okada for the 2010 World Cup. The 61-year-old Italian Saccharoni installed after that tournament. Cruz collected by Kawashima.
Good movement from Cahill in the box. Still that threat to Japan. Just wonder if, as the game drifts into the last 15 minutes or so later on, both teams won't be happy with a, let's hope not, both be happy with a draw. See Japan through. Australia have a very good chance if they can beat Jordan in their next home game.
Honda, Endo, that'll be too heavy. Well, Okazaki was making the dart through the middle.
It wasn't the space for him to make that run. There's space in behind the opposition, you can make that run, but it's too close. And the centre-halves saw it as well. Janowski's played quite well, big number 6. Probably been the better of the two centre-halves, because Neil was caught out a couple of times early on.
It's always going to be an interesting matchup when you look at the amount of experience, pace and match sharpness of these European-based forward players for Japan. And you look at Lucas Neal, he plays for Sydney FC in the A-League, and Ognanovsky for Salal in Qatar. Not exactly like for like, is it, in terms of their playing backgrounds during the season?
Just caught out there, the centre-half, having given him some praise. Janowski.
Dragging down Ryoichi Maeda of Jubilo Iwata.
Now will Honda go for that similar sort of technique shot?
Yeah, another set piece, isn't it? And he lifted one over the top, just a few short minutes ago from this kind of position.
Saw one in the first half from Endo on the other side of the field, which he whipped over the wall. I think he's lining this one up again. A little sighted with the first one. Given Schwartzen the little nod.
Again, it's Keisuke Honda. He's gone for goal again, same outcome.
Yeah, but different technique on this occasion. Tried to wrap his foot round it. Last time he went through the back of the ball. This one always got the same swerve on it, so it's easy for Schwarzer.
But if, as many expect Australia do, take their place as automatic qualifiers, we're still looking forward really to an unexpected name from the Asian zone qualifying for Brazil 2014. Uzbekistan currently lead Group A, ahead even of South Korea. The South Koreans do have a game in hand in that section, to be fair. But Uzbekistan at the World Cup. Kagawa, Honda, Endo, Nagatomo.
Yeah, good defending
there with Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz doing well. Saw the ball was going to be played into Nagatomo, got there quickly to make a 2v1, pinched the ball off of him. The player that's playing his trade in Germany at the moment. Sakai there, the right back, who I saw a lot of when he was at Kashiwa Reysol, the number 11, going through your picture there. Looked the outstanding player. Japanese football at one point, hasn't quite done it since he's been in the Bundesliga.
Well, Cahill, perhaps in something of an unfamiliar role here, been asked to shoulder the majority of the striking burden for Australia. They've won themselves a free kick here, which Tommy Orr is standing over, so that left foot will bend it in towards Kawashima's goal. There it is, plenty of gold shirts in there. Might drop for Cahill, thumped away.
Yeah, much to the relief of the 59, the 60,000 inside the ground here. They defend this ball quite well when it comes in. Get enough height on the header here. Asube, the captain, just allows enough time for Okazaki to get to the ball and get the next clearance in. You don't always have to get distance on your first header. You need to make sure it doesn't fall to someone immediately, so enough height on that little header.
Flick on from Holman, that's all. Shut down by Uchida. Throw from Milligan, there's Cahill. Kind of squirmed off his hair, didn't it? No one else quite read it.
Well, that's really all that Cahill's about these days. Battling in the air, making hard for defenders. We don't see too much link-up play for him. We don't see him make too many runs in behind the opposition. Doesn't really get on the ball. He's there as an aerial threat and a good finisher.
Ishida for Yasu Kono. On from Kagawa. It's moved more central. The layoff for Honda. Just didn't quite connect properly, did he?
Once again, Okazaki is trying to make that run in behind. The ball wasn't perfect for him, but he still did well enough to get it down to Honda. On his right foot, not very accurate.
So the first change of the evening, and Brett Holman is being replaced here by Dario Vidosic, player with experience of the Asian Champions League. 15th cap here for the 26-year-old Vidosic of Adelaide United.
It's a straight swap. Going to go in the roll. Might play a little bit deeper than Holman did, but there you see him, right in the by the centre spot.
Influence somewhat negated in this second half, really. Brett Holman, but did quite well in the first 45. That splendid through ball, which nearly produced a goal for Robbie Cruz.
He had that shot as well, didn't he, in the first half when Cahill reversed the ball back to him. He took his touch past Yoshida and then rushed his right foot shot.
There's Honda. Tracking him is Milligan. Azabe. Endo. Yuto Nagatomo. Everyone back behind the ball for Australia. Yoshida deep into enemy territory. Kagawa. Challenge from Cruz.
Yeah, he's done a better job in his last 15-20 minutes. Cruz to get back and make sure that Kagawa doesn't get so much of the ball.
There's Keisuke Honda. Yasu Endo. Kagawa. Hooks the ball towards Okazaki.
Wrong pass. Maeda had made a good run across the front of the centre half. Had it been bent into that 6-yard box, instead he went for the wider pass.
I just wonder if changes are in the offing for Japan. Got the Confederations Cup to come. Brazil, Italy and Mexico, group stage opponents in that.
Bad little group, that one.
Oh, they're always a side, aren't they, you expect to see at major tournaments these days, the Japanese. Latter stages, not so much, but they're perennial qualifiers. And a type of team that no one fancies playing.
Surprising thing is, we do have them a lot here on Eurosport. We don't see their club sides doing particularly well in the Asian Champions League at the moment.
It's a surprising league situation all round in Japan, with Amiya Ardija leading the J-League. 5 points ahead of Urawa Reds after 13 matches. Bresciano. Oh, he's done well there, Bresciano. Wiltshire will pull it back across, and the effort is blocked as Cahill might have fancied there, bagging a crucial goal for Australia. Honda at the other end, they have to get back the Socceroos. It's with Honda, and now Kagawa. Oh, he didn't have a shout there, no one saying man on.
What a block it was from Cahill. It was odds on for Cahill to score there when that ball was cut back, and it was that man Yoshida again. Watch when the ball's cut back. Yoshida stays tight, and now he throws himself at the ball. Great block, because Cahill's trying to pass that into the far corner. brilliant defending. Good play from Australia. Switch of play to this right-hand side, the cutback. Cahill's been looking for that all evening.
Well, that would have done wonders for their qualifying campaign, had that nestled in the onion bag there from Tim Cahill. It's a fantastic piece of defensive work, wasn't it? Absolutely, from Maya Yoshida. So inside the final quarter of an hour in Saitama, it's Nagatomo for Japan, and then Kagawa, Hasebe, Yasuhito Endo, Keisuke Honda goes to the outside. Retrieval from Okazaki. It's an effective guard, two-man guard up ahead of him, and Australia win it back. Bresciano. A good pressure though on the man in possession there.
Squeezing high upfield. Here comes the first substitution. Kurihara. Usually a defensive player.
First change to be made by Zaccaroni here. It will be Yuzo Kurihara of Yokohama Marinos. Just shut up shot, take what they've got. Japan. You wonder if that's in his thinking. Gono.
And they only need the draw to qualify.
Keisuke Honda. Going for the win though, aren't they? It's Kagawa. It's Maeda. It comes to Uchida. Ball needs to arrive in the box. Maeda. Kagawa lets it run across there for Hasebe. Well, they were very patient in trying to set up the chance there and wait for the right player, wait for the right shooting opportunity. But Japan shooting from outside of the box, not quite been up to scratch thus far. And we are seeing Ryoichi Maeda, striker, being replaced by a centre-half from Yokohama Marinos, Yuzo Kurihara.
Interesting change. Looks as though they may be going to a back three here.
Played in the Nagatomo role against Bulgaria last week, did Kurihara.
I think they're going to a back three here. And Nagatomo's going to, well, he may even be playing as a left back, and Nagatomo's going to playing as a left-sided midfield player. Here's Nagatomo.
That was a first touch from Kurihara, setting it away. It is Nagatomo! Went for the shot across Schwarzer and into the far corner. He probably telegraphed it the way he opened his body up there. You could see what he was going to do. What a chance!
Well, if that was the change that the coach has made, still interested to see whether Kurihara is going to play at left back or left-sided centre half, and they're going to play with wing backs here.
Oh, he was in there, Nagatomo. That is exactly the kind of end product that they want to see from their wide players, Japan. But having got himself into the position, he couldn't find the finish. Yuto Nagatomo.
Here's a great little touch around the corner from Kagawa. Now he's in behind. Lucas Neal hasn't got the pace to recover. He doesn't start it wide enough of that far post. Look at Honda, went for the cutback. That was on.
Hasn't scored for anyone since last September. Yuto Nagatomo, he was on target in a Europa League match for Inter against Rubin Kazan, denied there by Mark Schwarzer.
Seen a lot of Nagatomo this season. His form has somewhat mirrored what Inter Milan have done, which haven't been particularly good. Had some excellent matches, but been beaten far too easily on occasions.
Tommy Orr, this is positive. Going to serve it up to the far side. It's dropped in. It didn't need Cahill at the far post. Tommy Orr has produced a shocking moment at the Saitama World Cup Stadium. The cross which dropped over Kawashima, and Australia leads.
Well, we criticised, or I criticised on occasions throughout the game. Well, he's not trying to score, he's just trying to lift it up to the far post, but he does really well to get underneath the ball. Nothing much the goalkeeper can do about that. He tried to work his feet. Here it is again, just lifts it up. Works his feet, the goalkeeper, he can't quite make it. Maybe he should have done better. Oh, now Japan are under pressure.
Tommy Orr with his first international goal. What a moment for the 21-year-old. And what a time to score it. He has resurrected Australia's World Cup qualifying campaign. And Japan will have to wait again, will they, to book their ticket to Brazil 2014. They've already scuppered one opportunity when they were beaten in Jordan in their last qualifier. Heading for defeat here. They do have one more match against Iraq to get it right. Well, shades of France in qualifying for USA 94 here, needing just a point from their last two home qualifiers, lost them both. Don't think the situation's quite as dire as that for Japan, but even so.
And they will get another chance if they don't qualify automatically, but they wouldn't want to go into a playoff. There's always that danger, isn't there? If you change your system and you put another defender on just to bolster things up, it could backfire. That's exactly what's happened here. It certainly wasn't the centre-half's fault.
It's a stunner for the Saitama World Cup Stadium. It's going to be relentless here from Japan in the closing stages, but Uchida ran it out of play there. Well, bit of a freak goal, really. That will be of no consolation to Alberto Zaccaroni. But what a moment for Tommy Orr.
What a miss that was from Nagatomo. It's the first time we've heard the crowd lose their voice here. Now they've got to get behind their team. They're shocked by that goal because really Australia haven't played particularly well in the second half, and Japan looked the most likely side. Okazaki's made that run a little bit too often at times. Started to read it, Australia.
That's Cruz. They want to keep a tight old ship now, will Australia. Not long to go. Three priceless points.
Cheetah's the player coming off here.
Mike Havenaar of Vitesse Arnhem. Japanese born, but has Dutch ancestry. Havenaar on here for an 11th cap. There's Cruz, across to Cahill, there's Orr! Well, that really would have been something. Tommy Orr getting another, and Australia getting another. After the way Japan have just kicked at the Australian door at the other end, but you have to say, for all the shooting positions they've got themselves into, the finishing hasn't quite been there from the Blue Samurai this evening.
Make another change as well. Lost their way here. Thought they would, after the goal, maybe create one or two chances. It hasn't happened. They need to do something quickly.
Endo threading it through. Well, Havenaar tried the dummy, expecting someone to maybe anticipate it. which didn't happen.
Just got to get hold of the ball in and around the box there. There's the man that missed the opportunity just before the goal went in. Kiyotake getting himself ready to come on.
Another player based in Europe, Hiroshi Kiyotake, FC Nuremberg, replaces Shinji Okazaki of FC Stuttgart. Into Honda, put in from Bresciano. Oh, this is where they have to be careful, Australia, just leaving the foot in, and there's a yellow card for Mark Bresciano here, so it's another free kick in that area over on the right hand side, which Honda has tried without fail to make the most of before set pieces from this kind of situation and range. But the clock is seriously ticking down here for the home side.
It's a dreadful
heavy delivery, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think he's caught in two minds here what to do. Whether to go for goal or whether just to drift it into the box. In the end, he overhit it. Contrasting feelings for the managers.
Well, he's had a lot of stick back in his homeland, Helge Rosiek. Just wonder how the national press in Australia will react to this. They're heading for a tremendous victory. Havina, Kagawa, Endo back for Kawashima.
There was no added time in the first half. You haven't seen anybody really had too much treatment in the second. Can't see there being too much time added on. So it's now or never for Japan.
Keisuke Honda gets himself central, and the shot took a deflection. Well, corner. Is this the moment? They will feel they've done enough to be in a position where they're leading, or certainly not trailing Japan.
He's the man that separates the teams at the moment, rather fortuitously.
Honda, oh, that was a handball, was it? Yeah, he's pointed to the spot, it kicked up before it rolled through to Yoshida, and right at the death here, Japan have an opportunity to score the penalty, get the goal, get the point that will qualify them for the World Cup. A yellow card has been shown to Matti Mackay in there for the handball. Oh, it kicked up. It might be a bit harsh there on Mackay.
Well, he's got a long, it doesn't take a deflection, he's got a long time to see this, and he sticks out his arm. I think it has to be handball, no question about it. He sees that coming from 15, 20 yards away. He has the chance to get out the way, but he actually sticks his arm towards it. Now, pressure on this man here. What a moment in the group, what a moment in the game, and what a moment for these spectators. We've got 3 added minutes as well. Where they came from, not quite sure.
It's a watershed moment in all of qualifying for the 2014 World Cup finals, because Keisuke Honda with a chance here to carry Japan through to Brazil and ensure that they're the first team to qualify. Superbly finished from the spot. Keisuke Honda for 1-1.
Well, he went for power. Schwarzer went early to his left, decided to hit it with his laces. He's not happy, is he, the coach? He thinks it's the wrong decision. but I think he's mistaken. I think it was the right decision by the referee, no question about it.
Looking at the penalty incident once more, the question that always has to be asked, I suppose, can you see why the referee gave it? The answer, of course, is yes. The handball from Mackay, the penalty rammed home from Keisuke Honda. Look at that. If Schwarzer had just stood still, he'd have caught that in the midriff.
Well, he was really nervous before taking this penalty. He knew the whole nation was watching it, under a lot of pressure. So he decided to play safe and just hit it with power down the middle. Now, can they hang on? Hang on and they're through. It was 3 added minutes, but there'll be a bit more because the goal went in.
14th goal for the national team for Keisuke Honda. And what an important goal. Oh, what a few weeks it's been for him. Won the league, won the cup in Russia, and now with a goal that is sending his team into the World Cup finals. Well, the Australians are rattled, and no wonder. They were so close here to what would have been a fantastic victory.
What they have to make sure now, Australia, is they don't lose complete composure and lose the game, because a draw is a fairly decent result for them. Helps them build their confidence.
And now Japan are trying to win it. That's all. Whose fortuitous cross that dropped in looked like it might be bringing the Australians a win here in Saitama.
But if you look at the two sides, the side that have got the better technical players, have the better tactical understanding, is definitely Japan. Australia, we know, like the physical side of the game. They've got energy, they work hard, they're well organised.
And right at the end here, something of a favourite with the Socceroos. Archie Thompson of Melbourne Victory comes on. 34 years of age now. He's been used as an impact sub in some of the previous qualifiers. There's going to be no impact here because Keisuke Honda's last-minute penalty has qualified Japan for the 2014 World Cup finals in Brazil. They were heading for defeat here after Tommy Orr's cross dropped in 9 minutes from time. Australia will have to sweat on a place in Brazil. Japan are there. Would have been harsh on the Japanese, I guess, Stuart, had they gone down to been defeated here.
It would have been. They were the better team, and I think they'll do well in the World Cup. I'm pleased to see them there.
Well, after the excitement of Saitama, it's off to Paris and Roland Garros next. Live action, top seed Serena Williams against Svetlana Kuznetsova in the women's quarter-finals. That's that from the Saitama World Cup Stadium. Japan have qualified for Brazil after this 1-1 draw with Australia.